Hey, what's up guys? Ricky here from the HitLab Academy, and today I'm going to be showing you how to quantize a multi-track live recorded drum kit. Let's go. So I can think of a couple of scenarios where this is very useful. I have to say, first of all, that we don't always want to be quantizing drums. Sometimes a drummer plays slightly loose or pushes the beat or pulls the beat, or there's just sort of a looser around the metronome feel. That's very, very cool and very useful. And where the feel is, that's the feel of the song, and we wouldn't want to change that. However, sometimes drummers just play bad and they've just really, the part's fine, but it's just not in time and we need it to be. Or you're going to be putting the drum kit that you've recorded with other electronic elements that are going to be super in time, and you need the drum kit to lock with that. And that's where this is very useful. So before we dive into this, let's have a listen to what our raw tracks sound like. So first of all, you'll see that we've got a drum kit here. I've got 10 channels. This would work whether you've got 2 channels, whether you've got 5 channels, or whether you've got 10 channels or 50 channels. This could also work for something like an acoustic guitar that's been tracked with 2 different mics and you want things to stay in phase. So the first thing we want to do is we want to group all the drums together so that when I treat one of these files, whatever I do to one of them would be applied to the rest of them. When we're quantizing an instrument that's been recorded with more than one microphone, we need to make sure that the phase stays locked together. And if you're quantizing individual drums or individual mic channels, what it's going to do is going to take each of these channels and use the information on it individually, quantize those individually, but not worry about what the rest of them is doing, and then you might end up with a lot of problems. So the first step is basically to group all of these together. And the way we do that is you can click on the very top one, hold your shift key, click on the very bottom one to select all of them, then press X on your keyboard to open up your mixer. Now in your mixer on the left hand side here, you'll see there's a bunch of little titles, and you'll see that there's one here for the group. If you click there, you can open up a new group. So group 1, new, and you'll see it opens up this little drop down menu here. If it did not do that, you can just, it should be there on the left and you can open it up. And this first group, we're just going to label this one as drums. You'll see in the group here, it's also put that name there. Now, you'll see if I go back, I'm going to close the mixer with X again. If I go back, you'll see that the volume is being controlled together now. However, when I select these files, they still select individually, which is not what we want. So under your group setting here, you can go into the settings and you'll see this is the settings for this drum group. The first thing I want to turn on is editing. So what editing and selection does is it makes sure that when I select one file, it selects all of them. This is very handy because if I want to do edits on these files, I can just edit one of them and it applies it across. It avoids that you don't end up editing and dragging one file out and the rest of the channel is still on another take or another part of the thing, which can also cause havoc. That's step 1, is just to turn on the editing. Step 2 is to turn on Quantize locked. This is very, very important. And what you'll see is the minute I click that, it pops up these little green cues on the channel. So as we zoom in here, we can see that these are our kick channels at the top. This is snare, tom, and you'll see on these tom channels, there's not a lot of information there. And then on the overheads, there's a lot more information, and there's cymbals that makes a lot of noise. Same with the rooms and same with the mono kit mic. What these green cues are for is to basically tell Logic which of these files it needs to quantize and which it should not look at all. Then what it would do is every single bit of editing it does, it applies universally throughout all these files and keeps the phase locked of all these drums to make sure that you don't have any phasing problems. So in a scenario like this, what I would want to do is if we listen to the kick out mic versus the kick in mic. The kick in mic's got a nice sharp transient, which will be great for quantizing because it'll be nice and easy for Logic to figure out where that transient is. Then if I listen to my snare top, Again, there's not a lot of bleed. The snare is quite nice and clear. So in that scenario, the snare top would work great for Logic to be able to figure out where to put those snares. The snare bottom, the transient's also not as sharp as what it was on the snare top. So the snare top is definitely a better mic to reference there. So the way I normally approach this is I normally turn all of the cues off, and then I start with the kick in and the snare top and say, I want Logic to reference those files. Then I would have a look at the groove that I've got. So in this scenario, I've got this tom groove right at the beginning. So I want those toms to be included in my quantization as well. Reason why it's important to include them is if you look on both the kick in channel and the snare top channel, those tom transients aren't really showing up on those channels. So Logic's not going to know what to do with those. So I would, in this scenario, turn on the tom 2 as well. If you've got a groove where it's only the hi-hat, for example, you might want to turn that on. And this is where you have to learn to use your own discretion a little bit. So setting these cue tracks is very important because it simplifies for Logic what it needs to look at, what's important to you, what's important here so that the kicks are on, the snares are on, and those toms are on the beat. All right, so we've got the drums grouped, we've turned on our reference tracks. Step 2 is now to go in and turn on flex time. And the easiest way to do this is to hit Command F on your keyboard, and you'll see it brings up flex time parameters. You can also get to them up here. There's a little button that turns them on as well, but Command F is the shortcut. Then what you want to do is you want to select them all, and you want to make sure that slicing is selected, and you can basically go down and say slicing, and then it'll take a moment, and then it'll analyze all those files and turn this into flex time regions. Now, what you can do is, first of all, you'll see, before we even get to quantizing, and I've done this on purpose just because this happens quite often with people, is you'll see that the editing is not 100% here. My regions are cut off 100% on top of, that's the bar line, and it's cut off there. So if I'm trying to get this transient to be on the beat, I would want a little bit of space before it just so that I'm not cutting off that transient. So what I would do is I would click on this side and just drag it out a hair, just so that there is a little gap for that transient to snap back to the beat and have a tiny little space up front. You don't want a big gap like this because in this case, there's another take there that I don't want to show. If we go to where this is joined, you'll see that this is fine because it's not cutting anything off. But remember, when we quantize this, this is going to move back to this beat. So I want to take this again and just move it a hair back again. And if I go to my next region, there's a little gap there anyways. I want to close that and just drag this back just a tiny little bit. All right, so make sure that there's space just in front of your beats and your transients, a tiny little space for those transients to be able to move to the beat and not be cut off. And then you can always tweak that once the quantizing is done to make sure that the edits are nice and seamless. I'm also going to just quickly crossfade this. So I'm going to select those and I'm going to hit Control, Option, and X, and it'll add little crossfades on those regions. Right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit Command F again, and this is the flex time thing. Now, what's beautiful about this is you can manually do this. You can click on this and you can drag that over there. And now what you'll see is even if I do the kick, it's applied that all across my files here. This wants to be on that 16th note there. So I'm going to move that there, and you'll see if I leave it, it drags all of that nicely. That one, same thing. I want that a little bit earlier. And no matter which ones of these I do this on, so if I drag on this one here in the middle, it will drag that and it'll move everything together. So that's what the grouping is doing for us, because when you edit one file, it edits them all together. Now, if you've got full drum tracks, I mean, this is a short little piece, you could probably do it manually, but if you've got a full drum track, you might want to just quantize this in the same way as what you can quantize MIDI. So the way you would do that is you would select all these files. You would make sure that your group is on, that if you hit the X, you'll see that our group is highlighted in yellow. If the groups are off, it will be grayed out like this, whereas if they're on, they will be yellow. And the way to do that is just by Shift and G, you can turn the groups on and off. So make sure your groups are on, make sure your flex time is on, make sure your flex time is on slicing for the drums, make sure you've got the right reference track selected. Then you're going to select all your audio files. You're going to come up to the left here. You're going to click on region, and then you'll see that you've got this option to quantize. And if you click on that, I know that this is a 16th note bass groove. So I'm going to click on 16th note, and you'll see, boom, it quantizes the whole thing in one click. Let's have a look at what it's done. So this is what you can see here, as I said to you. So it's moved that up to there, and it's kept my phase on my other channels in place, and I've had that little gap just to make sure that the transient's not cut off. And you can see how nicely it's put all of these kicks on the beat for us. All right, so let's have a listen. Okay, so there were some problems here. All right, so let's have a look at the beginning sounded fine to me. Here at the end, we had some issues. So sometimes what would happen is quantizing would create certain things. Sometimes the transients don't pick up. So it's very important to always listen through what it's done so that you can fix any errors. Let's have a listen. Yeah, so there's definitely some funny things here. So what you could do now, first of all, I hear that this hi-hat thing is a little bit out of time still. And that's this here, you can see is sort of needs to be on that eighth note. Yeah, so this one as well needs to be on the eighth note. Let's sort the end out. So there's a little thing that's rushed in the middle there. So what this has done, it's done a weird thing with this tom fill here. So I'm going to just unclick all of these and you'll see that it sort of spaces them out a bit. Yeah, and then if I want to come in here and make sure that all these toms, there's a 16th note there. So we can take that tom and just make sure it's nice and on the grid there. There's a tom hit there that I just want on the grid. And here's another one there that I just want to grab onto the grid there. And if we have a listen to that, nice and clean. All right, so, and there you have it. Let's have a quick listen to the before and after. So this is without the quantizing. And this is with the quantizing. That's it for today, guys. I hope you found this useful. Please remember to like and subscribe to the channel and this video, and also remember to hit the notifications bell for future videos. If you'd like us to work on your projects, please head over to thehitlab.co.za. We do remote mixes, remote recording, and can definitely assist you on your projects. Until next time, later.